What it is, what it do, cyber world. It is your girl, the one and only Ash Brown, and this is the Ash Brown Uncensored Show. On this program, I talk a little bit about everything. It may be pop culture related, but it's probably Ash Brown related. So you gotta stay tuned to see what I'm gonna talk about. Now, today is absolutely pop culture. Shout out to Katt Williams and his explosive interview on Club Shay Shay with Shannon Sharp. Everybody has seen it now. I think it's well over the 50 million views mark. I'm fairly confident of that by now. And I just feel as though there was a lot of truth in what Katt said. I know people in the industry. I know people that are connected to people that he talked about in that interview. And a lot of my suspicions were confirmed. So I'll say that. But I will also say, you guys know that, or I've said on many a times that I used to work in the court system. I used to work garnishments and adoptions. And so that was the civil division of the courts. And I know that people can sue for anything. They can sue for anything. They can wake up one morning and say, you know what? I'm going to sue you for making it rain last night. Or I'm going to sue you because my car battery died. People can sue for anything. It doesn't matter if it's true or not. They're leaving it up to the courts to say that it's a false claim or if it's valid. So when I heard that some of the comics that Katt Williams addressed in his interview are considering legal action against Katt Williams. On what grounds? On what grounds? Like, what can you prove? What can you prove? Because that's really what the court is about. People forget and they're like, oh, I'm going to go to the court. I'm going to take you to court. Okay, you're going to take them to court and waste some time. Unless you've got hardcore evidence in your favor. Why would you go to court? You're going to go to court just to spend some time, spend some money? Like, the court is, like I said, the court is not going to step in and say, oh, this is not a legitimate claim, blah, 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 blah. You can't file. No, the court wants your money. Okay? The court wants all of your money. Any money that they can get from you, they're going to collect. They're not going to ask if it's a valid claim or not because they're going to leave that up to the judge. They're going to leave that up to the judge to decide whether this is valid, invalid, dismissed, judgment awarded, whatever. They're going to leave it up to the judge. So when I heard that, I just laughed to myself because Katt Williams is a very smart man. Very, very smart. And he didn't say anything in that interview that can be disproved. I mean, the stuff that he talked about, and like I said, I know that you guys have seen the interview by now. Everyone has seen it 2, 3, 10 times over. I've actually, sifted through most of it myself. But the stuff, they would have to have hardcore evidence, and they don't have that. All they have now is just threats. These are empty threats that they are putting out there. Because like I said, when I worked the court system, there was an older gentleman that would come literally, he would come every month and he would file no less than 6 suits, 6 garnishments. All right. And so for those of you that are unfamiliar, a garnishment is a way for a person to collect on a judgment. So in the initial case, say that person A is renting to person B. So person B is the tenant. And say that person defaulted on their rent and just haven't been paying rent. Person A can take that person to court. They can sue them. They can sue them and say, Judge, this person owes me X amount of dollars. The judge says, okay, where's your proof? Here's the proof. Here's the contract that they signed. Here's the agreement and all these things. The judge says, oh, you know what? I'm going to award it to you. Here is X amount of dollars of what you were saying that you were owed. You've got 7 years to collect on this. Person A says, all right, cool, bet. So now person A takes that judgment to the division where I was in, garnishments, and they freeze all bank accounts. They possibly garnish their wages, or sometimes they can do both. It's really up to them. And after they do that, then they collect off of it, and it could take anywhere up to a year, maybe more, just depending on how much money is owed. But the main statutory fact is you need a judgment. Most people, they say that they're going to file, I'm going to file, or like Will and Jada, that whole thing. Oh, we suing. And Brother Bilal hadn't seen a suit yet. And we in the first of the year. This is the third week of the year. So it's laughable that a rumor like that would start off, because I know firsthand they're not going to put that much time and effort into that. They're going to try to credit themselves in what they've been doing and what has been going on, but they're not going to, no. I don't see it. It would be an embarrassment for them to file this suit just so it can get dismissed. Katt Williams didn't say anything in that interview that I saw that could be disproved with proof. And I mean, he didn't say, okay, the only issue I could see, like, they could try like a defamation type of situation, is saying that, you know, oh, this person's a bad person, blah, blah, blah. They did this, they did that, or whatever. But Katt Williams is so smart. The way that he phrased everything, he phrased it all back to the original issue. With Cedric, it was the joke. With Steve, it was the joke. And all that stuff, y'all can go on YouTube today, which I actually did, and saw, oh, wow, that was real. Oh, wow, that really actually happened. So it's interesting how the internet works. It's absolutely fascinating how it works. But they're not trying to sue Katt Williams. Because they don't want to give him any more shine. His concerts, you know, the comedy shows are selling. They were selling out before, but it's worse now. He's probably going to have to add more dates. He's probably going to have to. So suing Katt Williams, they don't want that. Because then everything else going to come out too. They don't want that. Nah, they don't want that. And as far as like the Ricky Smiley stuff, he was simply responding to Ricky Smiley's interview on Shannon Sharp's show. He didn't say nothing that Ricky didn't say. He just simply corrected it. So it's going to be interesting. It's going to be quite the interesting year, y'all. Katt Williamson just set the internet on fire. And this is weeks later, and we're still talking about it. I feel as though we're going to be talking about this all year long. This was his whole point. Genius. Absolute genius. So that's my takeaway from it. But yeah, ain't nobody about to sue nobody. They don't want them. It's an embarrassment. It's honestly just them tossing money away. They're not going to sue him. I don't see it happening. But I hope you guys are having a great week, and that you have a peaceful, prosperous, and just powerful week ahead. I'll holler at y'all later. Deuces.